Hello and welcome. We're here with Gene Hayward. Gene's going to tell us how we get hits on YouTube. How do you get hits on YouTube?
You beg for them. You say, please come on our site. No, you put very nice looking ladies will be coming on soon. Tens.
You helped me fix the air conditioner today
On what?
on that Nissan Versa.
And how did that go?
I think it went extremely well. I fixed it. I added coolant to the refrigerant and I got the battery going, and we got this going, my friend.
Did you do anything? Check the antifreeze?
We checked it, but was it at a good level? What do you think?
It was maxed out. After we'd been running to fill the AC, it was perfect. The master cylinder, we had a hard time reading it, but it don't show the lights on, so it's good. We're going to have to clean it and put it in a brighter sun. That was stupid. That I'd erase all that. We're going to have to do those stupid apps. I charged my friend's AC up and he thought it was broke because water was coming out. Stuff like that. If we're going to fucking do it, we got to sketch this one out ahead of time. Let me play the dumb part then. Let me play
You don't have any problem doing that.
Okay, you ask the questions. Do it over.
Okay.
Yes.
How was your day today? So what should we discuss today? Politics or?
I don't know anything to discuss. I haven't been following anything. Okay, let's discuss how to live. Just say my friend's going to be homeless, and he doesn't know how to live on the streets.
Okay. So
you're going to tell me how.
My friend here is going to be homeless, and we're going to tell him how to live on the streets. So what are your questions? Because you're having to leave your apartment soon. You could be going to San Diego, live with your brother for a while, which would be amazing, or just be homeless. So what are your questions? What questions do you have about being homeless? Because I've been homeless before.
I've lived here 40 years, and so I have no recollection of being ever homeless, ever without a house. Everything just was there. I had money and everything. Now the things are changed. Do I live in airports? Do I buy a vehicle because I have no vehicle I can live in? What's the best? Buy a van. I'm only paying $450 a month. So do I get a good vehicle and live in it? Or do I go somewhere and try to get a room where I don't even like anybody and live with them? Or do I try? I'm on Social Security at 65. Do I try to get in a group home, or do I try to get in a group home, or do I try to go to San Diego and marry a rich lady? What would you do, Augie?
If it was me personally, I would get into a group home, but you should try to marry a rich lady in San Diego.
With one eye and pirate glasses? What kind of lady will I get?
Just one of those really short women, one of those
homeless ones too. Live on the streets with her, have her keep me warm.
A lot of control.
But San Diego will be warm.
So have you ever run before?
Run?
Yeah.
What do you mean run?
Have you ever run in your life from the police or otherwise?
No, I've never. I got no tickets. Well, traffic tickets.
No, just run. Have you ever exercised? Have you ever exercised before?
Yeah, but run from the police.
What is it?
No reason to.
What does it feel like?
To run?
Yeah.
Sometimes exhausting, but when you're in shape, it feels exhilarating.
You get that endorphin release, right?
Right.
And you stay in shape and you feel good.
So do I.
Well, your days of exercising are over, my friend.
They are, aren't they?
And San Diego, all you have to do is sit there next to the Pacific Ocean. It's warm.
Whoa.
And you have that breeze, that nice breeze coming in.
Like so the Otis Redding song sitting on the dock of the bay?
Yeah, so it feels like you just got done running.
Whoa. I don't have to do nothing to get my endorphins.
Your days of exercising are over.
What about sunset and sunrises there? Do you want
They're
to
the
see
worst.
them both?
No.
They're the worst.
You try to avoid them at all costs.
Why?
Do you really want to see the sun go up or down?
That's the best part of the day I like. I like the cool nights because the heat, the sun, the glare, you don't have any of it. I'm up all night where I am now. I sleep in the day and I'm up at night. So why should I alternate it from Denver to San Diego?
Why am I up this early?
Why? Who up so early?
Why am I up this early?
Because you didn't go to. You're not in bed.
So let's go ahead and.
Oh, you're up because you should be sleeping because you work today.
Yeah,
that's right. Why are you?
I've got to go in early also. I'm gonna let's just see what's going on. What's going on in the world of politics?
Trump put 10% more tariffs on China. What do you think about that? And our prices are going up already. He's got more prices. The stocks, I think Trump's ruining the country. Have you ever put Charlie on there? Charlie should.
Yeah, Charlie's been on there. I'm so tired of politics.
Charlie got right where the air is. That means he's hot, right?
Yeah,
he got right in front of that fucking window.
Backed by $12.8 billion from big tobacco, peddling flavored e-cigarettes, luring.
So you're going to charge the thing up tomorrow? You told somebody that you're having your guy come over tomorrow, look at the air, and do the
professionals like New York Times chief White House correspondent
Peter
Baker are feeling it. Quoting now from his tweet this afternoon. Just a day in the Trump White House. Reagan treaty terminated. Spy chief nominee pulled. North Korea can pass for illegal missile launches. Rapper freed in Sweden. Trump signs deficit-raising spending bill. Top state official fired. And it's not
North Korea given pass for illegal missile launches. What do they think we should do about it, North Carolina?
Who they? You said what do they think?
What do you do? Just attack? No, you don't do anything.
You can't do anything because
you don't attack
China and then the people over there.
You see what I'm saying?
Why did they leave it up to
you see what I'm saying? No, you don't. What do they think we should do?
What are they going to do?
You use diplomacy. Yeah, you give. See, they think they're the progressive, so they'll just take whatever's the opposite side of Trump. Whereas my grievances with Trump are,
you can't do
I wouldn't sanction them any further because those poor people, the majority of the people are starving. You just try to you give incentives. You give incentives. You don't do the missile launch, and we'll give you this. However much money or whatever.
Is he doing it though to get the sanctions lifted? Why do you think he's fired him? Is he throwing it in
our face? It could be something like that, yeah.
Or is he
Trump just makes he's very illogical.
Tonight, keeping him honest with one of those items, another presidential nominee for a very important job being pulled from consideration. This time it was Texas Congressman John Ratcliffe, nominee for Director of National Intelligence. And as you might expect, the axe fell on Twitter, which is, I guess, fitting because that's also where President Trump named him as his pick. Quoting the president now, our great Republican Congressman John Ratcliffe is being treated very unfairly by the lamestream media. Rather than going through months of slander and libel, I explained to John how miserable it would be for him and his family to deal with these people. John has therefore decided to stay in Congress, where he's done such an outstanding job representing the people of Texas and our country. I will be announcing my nomination for D&I shortly. So, just to be clear, the president wants you to believe that his nominee is fantastic, great, perfect candidate, perfect for the job, totally qualified. It's just those awful mean reporters are going to be tough on him and they're going to slander and libel him. And he repeated that argument on his way to his country club in New Jersey.
Oh, he's born in New Jersey.
I felt that Congressman Ratcliffe was being treated very unfairly. I was reading the press, and I think I am a student of the press. And I could see that the press was treating him, I thought, very unfairly. He's an outstanding man. And I asked him, I said, do you want to go through this for 2 or 3 months, or would you want me to maybe do something else? And he thought about it. I said, it's going to be rough. I could see exactly where the press is going. And fake news. He's a fine man. He's a fine man. And so We hadn't started the process, and I thought it's easier before we start. But I read things that were just unfair, and he's just too good. He doesn't deserve it.
He's just making it up as he goes along. And when he pauses, then he's like, he just throws in the fake news.
Really, Anderson? I'm glad you figured that out after 2.5 years.
It's the old media game. This is like the oldest, lamest game in the book. The guy's just too good. He's so good, he can't stand up to reporters, you know, looking into his actual background and actual claims he's made, which, okay, seem to be false.
God, they hate Trump so much.
Sources who've spoken with the president say he has in recent days.
Why don't they hate Paul Ryan or Jeb Bush that
about
much?
Congressman Ratcliffe's confirmability.
No.
Those has very limited experience.
Jeb Bush and Paul Ryan, they're fine because they stay civil.
6 months, in fact, on the House.
Trump is a run-of-the-mill Republican. He's a run-of-the-mill Republican with a personality. He's got a personality.
He did,
but they want to act like he's somehow different.
Attorney back in Texas, but what may have been an even bigger factor in the
they're so pissed that he has a personality. But he's no different than any other Republican. They're all racist. They all want to crush the poor.
He put Burris in prison. The CNN search of terror-related cases fails to show any that the congressman himself actually prosecuted. Obviously, one of them goes to his office. Examples. His office, when asked, failed to offer any examples or any evidence.
Crush them.
He also claimed
China would. China gets in their road, they run over with tanks. Trump would use road crushers. Augie would use road crushers.
Let's go back to the Democratic. I want to show you Tulsi Gabbard and Kamala Harris.
Was she the one that ran for president?
There's a couple of them.
I don't know. One, Hildebrand, I think, is the one I'm thinking of, was attacked on Joe Biden. Isn't that her name? Hildebrand?
Yeah.
Whatever, she got long brown hair or something. So. Is that Paul Ryan?
They don't fall off. Oh my God. You guys, are you serious about this?
She's from New Jersey, but she had worn that hat, trying to look very California-esque. I like the short, how the shorts were. Did you see that in the hat? I did like that.
It all started with our flagship train.
Senator Harris, you have also been quite critical of Vice President Biden's policies on race, specifically on the issue of busing in the 1970s, having benefited from busing when you were a young child. Vice President Biden says that your current position on busing, you're opposed to federally mandated busing, that position is the same as his position. Is he right?
That is simply false. And let's be very clear about this. When Vice President Biden was in the United States Senate working with segregationists to oppose busing, which was the vehicle by which we would integrate America's public schools, had I been in the United States Senate at that time, I would have been completely on the other side of the aisle. And let's be clear about this. Had those segregationists their way, I would not be a member of the United States Senate. Cory Booker would not be a member of the United States Senate. And Barack Obama would not have been in the position to nominate him to the title he now holds. And so on that issue, we could not be more apart, which is that the vice president has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time. Now, I would like to also talk about this conversation about Eric Garner, because I too met with his mother. And one of the things that we've got to be clear about is that this president of the United States, Donald Trump, while he has been in office, has quietly been allowing the United States Department of Justice to shut down consent decrees, to stop pattern and practice investigations. On that case, we also know that the Civil Rights Division, this is important, the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice said charges should have been filed, but this United States Department of Justice usurped, and I believe it is because that president did not want those charges to go forward, and they overrode a decision by the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice. Under my administration, the Civil Rights Division will reign, and there will be independent investigation.
Vice President Biden, I want to give you a chance to respond to what Senator Harris just said.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were 2 of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles.
See, Kamala Harris is a racist.
And she did not, like, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them.
She was what, a governor? Senator.
Senator. I think it was prosecutor, then Attorney General, I can't remember what the position was.
Secondly, she also is in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact were abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she in fact was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you in fact have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information that would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden. And Senator Harris, your response?
That is simply not true. And as Attorney General of California, where I ran the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice, I am proud of the work we did, work that has received national recognition for what has been the important work of reforming a criminal justice system and cleaning up the consequences of the bills that you passed when you were in the United States Senate for decades. It was the work of creating one of the first in the nation initiatives around re-entering former offenders and getting them jobs and counseling. I did the work as Attorney General of putting body cameras on special agents in the state of California, and I'm proud of that work.
I want to bring in Congresswoman Gabbard. Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
You want to hear that again? Just that lady.
A little bit, because I like this lady.
Acting Black and brown people all
Yeah, she came in there. She
at the
had
last
a free
debate, you
ride.
called it a quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
So I didn't really miss that much. So cheap labor.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significally reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model.
You see how she's all thrown off? District attorney. District attorney. That's the kind of that's the person that's putting you in jail. And you can. And is that what you want running the country?
And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work, significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about re-entering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring
the counseling. I'm in counseling right now, and it's just a
You are.
It's
you're going to classes?
Yeah, you have to, and you have
How
to.
How often do you go to classes?
Every week, and you pay for it. And
how
it's
much?
the worst.
35 or what?
It's the worst part of my punishment for a crime I did not commit. It's
so
the
you're
worst.
paying $50 a week.
30, and then monthly I have to meet with them individually. So $30 a week, and once a month I have to pay them like $50 for an individual session, and then every 12 weeks I have to see where my performance. I have to pay another $50. It's the worst part of my punishment. So when she said, "Oh, we're getting them therapy," you can't really change a person to their core. They have to want to change, and putting somebody in a position where they have to come up with that kind of money plus their court fees, paying their lawyer, etc. That's not helping them. It's all a racket. That's just a horrible response.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Yeah, Senator Harris. She just nailed it.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty. That is my background. That is my work. I am proud of it. I think you can judge people.
So there was a guy. There was a guy that had.
Blocked evidence.
Well, he had a jaywalking ticket.
What? And he went to jail for jaywalking?
He was jaywalking, and a car ran the red lights and almost hit him and swerved to avoid him and hit another car. And the person suffered some pretty serious injuries, broken arm. She wanted to give that person, the jaywalker, the death penalty.
Jaywalking? Not at a crosswalk?
At a crosswalk.
I thought you said the person ran a red light.
Yeah, but she wanted to give the jaywalker the death penalty.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
He had the light. If she ran a red light, he was going on the green walk light.
Yeah, but they swerved to miss him, and he.
But they ran a red light.
Yeah.
So he wasn't at fault.
I don't think so. She wanted to.
What was he jaywalking? He must have
at the crosswalk, but he didn't have the walk sign, so she wanted to give him the death penalty.
He walked and the car ran a red light, about hit him. So the fucking car ran the red light should be the one.
So he went to prison. There were appeals, and finally he got the lethal injection. Just last week.
He died?
Yeah.
For jaywalking?
So he.
Are you serious?
He was a priest.
No fucking liar. You're a big liar. Really, what happened?
I made that.
What happened?
I made that whole thing up.
So that was good though. But who was the one she did put in it? She wouldn't listen to the record.
I didn't see that part, but
she wouldn't listen. He would have been freed. He was innocent. She wouldn't let.
Here's what
a lot of the prosecutors do that because you've seen it all over TV. How they just keep going. Innocent people won't relentless. They won't let up.
Here's what shouldn't make you skeptical.
Oh.
What should make you skeptical is the fact that the media loves Kamala Harris.
Why?
Because
I don't understand. Why the media loves her? Why?
Why do they love her? Because she's going to be a tool for the military-industrial complex.
Wait a minute. She's going to be
big pharma.
Wait a minute. Back up. She's going to be a what?
So the people that are in control of this country. So the people that are in control of this country, right?
The industrialists.
They have a financial incentive to keep things the way they are. Why would they want things to change?
So she's for industrialists.
Yeah, she's for the people that are in
them money that we need.
The pharmaceutical industry, the insurance lobby.
She's on their side and not fighting for our rights. Well, fuck her. And people liked her, the pharmaceutical company.
Because of propaganda, because the media manufacturers consent. They're posting her face. Hey, come on. They never, really get, policy
I want to watch that lady from Hawaii. Can you bring her up on her background, just on hers?
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be.
I want to see her because I like her better than I think.
I want you to vote for her. I want you to vote for Kamala Harris. That's it for us. We'll look her up further.
No, the one from Hawaii. I love that. She looks good. She probably got a family. Is she better than Bernie Sanders?
She's right up there. I think Bernie's better, but she's right up there.
Well, let me see more of the Hawaiian.
Okay, I'm going to end the stream. You can see her.
And bring up that Hawaiian lady. Just